On the fake, Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all! It is caught! Bears win it! This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series! Bryant makes the play! It's over! And the Cubs have finally won it all!
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmeiro over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
Look away to Livingston. Jordan. Oh, a spectacular move by Michael Jordan. That's 13 consecutive field goals.
They've waited a long time for this to be at home. Slipped in front and Crawford another block. 5 to go. For the third time in 6 years, the Blackhawks are Stanley Cup champions.
Hello, everybody, and welcome on into the Between the Lines Sports Show here on the Prime Coverage Sports Network. As always, I'm your fantastic host, Daniel Coletta, alongside my fantastic co-host, Mr. X or Xavier. Xavier, we're back another week, and I am so happy to get this show on the road. We don't have Big O with us. We'll see if he decides to join us. I don't know if he slept through his alarm clock, but it is always good to see you, my friend.
What's going on, brother? It's good to see you. It's let's have a great show today. Hopefully, I think
Absolutely.
it's gonna happen, Gary, no matter what.
Right. We're ready to have a good time. Friendly reminder, you can check us out on the Prime Coverage Sports Network. I'll put all the socials down here below for you to check out. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We're also on Twitch, and we are going to be having a Kick account very soon. So by all means, give those a shout out and a follow, and we would love to hear your guys' opinions. Today's show, we're going to keep it very, very simple, but we're going to talk a little bit about the Cubs and Sox and both of their series and what they mean for the city of Chicago baseball-wise coming up, because we mention them every week, but we just want to see what they've been up to. And then we'll talk a little bit about the NBA playoffs, and then we'll hit on the NHL playoffs just a little bit. And then for our last segment, like we did last week, we have a very special topic, and we'll get to that towards the end of the show. So let's get right into it, and we're going to talk about the baseball side of things, because both baseball teams, I mean, they really surprised me with how they've been playing the season. We talk about it every week, but let's start with the Northsiders first, because obviously they had an eventful series the last couple of days, but obviously losing 2 in Texas was rough over the weekend, but then you blow your first game to the Braves yesterday, and I know the Braves are one of the best teams in baseball. They just couldn't get any run support yesterday. And, I mean, Bregman hit a homer, and Ballesteros got an RBI, but that was the only runs they had yesterday. And, I mean, you would think, X, that they're due for a bounce-back day.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they won, what was it, 10 in a row? Yeah, they won 10 in a row. I mean, they lost 3, so, I mean, they're still one of the hottest teams in baseball, regardless of them losing 3 in a row. Yeah, I mean, you can look at the score. They lost 6-0, 3-0, and 5-2 against the Rangers and Braves. But I do think they're due for a bounce back. And if not, like I said, they are the hottest team in baseball. So obviously they do not want to lose tonight. But I do think they'll bounce back either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, especially considering all things aside, I mean, you see Bregman here taking 1 yard yesterday. I mean, Ballesteros got that RBI, even though it was they actually ruled him safe on that, and it would have almost been a double play ball. But that would be the only runs the Cubs actually mustered up, and I don't know why the internet's so slow on the video when it's playing. But the big thing for the Cubs is, like I said, you want to see consistency out of them, because I think that the one thing right now, the Cubs are 27-15, which is still number 1 in the National League Central, and they play Atlanta again tonight in their series, who's 29-13. You're going to have Shota Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs, who is 4-2 on the year with a 2.28 ERA, going up against J.R. Ritchie, who has a 3.63 ERA and 1-0 record for the Braves. So, I mean, right now, as it stands, you look at these teams and you're like, This could be some matchup that you see late in October because they're both two of the powerhouses of the National League. But again, with just all that's going on, I mean, the National League Central, the Brewers are 2.5 back, the Cardinals are 2.5 back, and then even Pittsburgh and Cincinnati are 4 and 5 back, respectively. So it's still an all-out dogfight, you'd think, from here as we head into the early portion here of summertime.
Yeah, I mean, both Centrals, but obviously we're gonna focus on the National League right now, right? With the Cubs. But I mean, it's a tight race. Yes, they do have currently. They're still holding on to first by 2.5 games. So I mean, they still got some breathing room right there. It's baseball, so I mean, you still got a long season ahead of you. But they do have a really tight race with. I mean, the Reds have 22 wins. So
right.
The Pirates with 23.
It's anybody's. I think it's anybody's division right now. Because
of course, but yeah. Obviously Brewers and Cubs would be the lead dogs in this division.
Absolutely, and I mean, you just take a look at the 5-game stretch coming up from. Obviously, you got the game tonight at 6:15, and then tomorrow you got them again at 6:15. But then we have Crosstown, and we all know what it means to be a Chicagoan and witness Crosstown, no matter what ballpark you go to, no matter what fan you're a side of. And obviously, we like it because it brings out the Chicagoans. It brings them out to go watch some summer baseball and just have a good time. Get hammered, for God's sake. I mean, we love getting hammered and watching baseball, and there's no better time to do it than Crosstown, which obviously starts on Friday and goes into the weekend, which I really wanted to try to go to that Saturday game, actually. But I have to take my air traffic controller's test on Saturday, so I'm like, dang it.
You take your what?
So if you remember, I was looking to be an air traffic controller.
Okay.
But I have to take a test to see if I get into the FAA Academy. That test is on Saturday. It's a 3.5-hour test. So by the time I get done, if I were to try to leave from where I'm taking my test 10 minutes from my house to drive to Chicago to go to Crosstown, that'd be a nightmare in itself trying to get through the traffic. So
I mean, there's 2 other games you can still go to.
Absolutely. I thought about going to the Sunday game as well. So I mean, those are they at Wrigley or are they at Rate this weekend?
They're at the Rate.
They're at Rate. I'm excited. I mean, I would love to join in the festivities, but we'll see. Honestly, there's so much going on that I want to just like get knocked out and then go see Crosstown. That'd be the greatest. That'd be like the cherry on top of the weekend.
Definitely.
So I hope I could do that. But again, the Cubs 5-game schedule coming up. You guys let us know what you think needs to go right for the Cubs to win these games and take a couple of these. But speaking of Crosstown, we'll make our transition that way to the Southsiders because we have to talk about the Southside. What a game yesterday. What a game yesterday. That was a fantastic. They were down. I thought they were going to lose that game. And the Sox just keep proving people wrong. I mean, right now they are 20-21. They're proving a lot of people wrong. And as we said, you said yourself and myself, because I didn't even know what to think, you thought that this would be a wild card team, and they look like it right now. And they get a 6-5 win yesterday. They just had everything flowing offensively.
Yeah, I mean, the Sox are winning games right now, which they absolutely need to keep winning to keep a steady pace in this division, right? They're only, I believe, a game out, I believe.
Double check that for you.
Check it out right now.
1.5 back of Cleveland.
They're only 1.5 back behind Cleveland. I mean, it is obviously not the best division in baseball, but that being said, I mean, you're still 1.5 games back, and it is slightly a tight race in the Central for the American League. The Sox won the past 3 games, so that's fantastic as a White Sox fan. You got to keep it up if you want to try to get that first spot. But as of right now, as we're speaking, they do hold a wild card spot, as you said before. And yeah, so I'm very excited as a White Sox fan. And like you mentioned earlier, we do have the Cubs coming up. So I'm looking forward for the Sox to win tonight and take these 2 games from the Royals, should I say.
Right. I mean, you see Miguel Vargas doing his job, getting some RBIs. You had another great home run game yesterday out of the kid in Drew Romo, who I thought's just starting to come into himself. Derek Hill, who we're going to mention here, hit the monster bomb at the end. And overall, I mean, Mydroth gets into the action here with a 3-run homer. So they're getting offensive output out of their players. And look at the stands. the stands are filling up. I love seeing this at the rate because, unfortunately, not to say the least, last couple of years the rates really haven't had that many people out there in those outfields you see.
Understandable though.
Right. Now, everything's going right. They're a young team. They have a great setup, and Will Venable has this team on track right now to, like you said, make a wild card spot. And don't get me started. There it is, Derek Hill to take the 1-run lead that would ultimately win you the game in the 8th inning. That's just pure hitting. And again, that's good. You're gonna have to do that tonight because again, you're 1.5 back at Cleveland, and tonight's matchup you got a 6:40 game, and that obviously transitions to a lot of different things because obviously you have these night games and you give the players some time to rest. But you got Seth Lugo going for the Royals against Noah Schultz for the Sox, who's 2-2 on the year with a 4.68 ERA. So it's a very winnable game. It absolutely is. And the big thing is right now you got the Sox at -108. You got Kansas City -122. So it's a very winnable series. It absolutely is a winnable series.
This is obviously a series you would like to win since they are a division opponent. All the wins in your division is very important. And you haven't really faced any division teams that much lately. So, obviously you play who's on your schedule, but the White Sox look good, man. They look really good. They're piecing little things together. Antonacci has been playing outstanding baseball. Doing the little things, getting the little bloopers, singles and doubles. Murakami, he's Murakami. Obviously, he didn't hit a home run yesterday, but you know what? He can't.
He's due for one tonight. Right? He's due for one tonight.
Montgomery, he's doing well still. He still has a lot to learn. He had loaded bases yesterday, I believe in the 2nd or 3rd inning, and he did strike out to end the inning. So they're a young team. Meidroth, he's looking well, and I'm pretty stoked. I know I may not sound that stoked, but at being a Chicago fan for anything, you just kind of have to go with the flow and just
let it take its time, right? Exactly. Let it marinate.
Exactly.
We just gotta enjoy it while we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 5-game stretch coming up. Obviously, you got tonight's game at 6:40 against the Royals, followed by another game tomorrow with the Royals to close it out. See if the Sox can win the series with the win tonight. But then you got Crosstown, as we mentioned, going into the weekend. That should be a very great matchup, and both of these teams have a lot to prove. The Sox looking to go 500 on the year when they face off with the Royals tonight. And no starting lineups have been announced for either of the teams that we mentioned in the Cubs and the Sox for both of their matchups, but I'm sure we'll find out within the next couple hours. You guys obviously let us know what the Sox need to do to keep pace in American League Central. That's very tight with the Sox team that's right in 2nd place. But one of the other big things we need to talk about too is with it going on, I'll ask you one other thing when it comes to the White Sox. When it comes closer to October and we see baseball, who is going to be, in your opinion, right now, if you're looking at this presently constructed roster? I know we talk about Murakami. I know we talk about guys like Drew Romo, and we talk about Montgomery. Who do you think is going to be the X factor for the Sox roster if they have this wild card spot in October?
So obviously we're not talking about pitching, but pitching is going to be obviously alone on this. It's going to be alone, like a major key for this team. The Sox pitching has been not the best. Look at yesterday's game. You were up, and then you got some good runs in there, and then they come crawling back. But in years past, when a team comes crawling back against the White Sox, you usually lose that game. So that proves that they're learning, and they're learning to win, and they're learning to compete. I do think Antonacci is going to be a big name. Same thing with Meidroth. I think all these young pieces are going to piece together very well. But those two players, I think, with what they do and with the crack of their bats, obviously they're not going to hit home runs, but they're going to do the running on the base pads. They're going to play defense and singles and doubles, which is what you're going to need for small ball.
Right. I think that one of the things when we look at the rosters, because, again, we are looking at a very young team, and I'd actually be curious to anyone who knows out there, or even ourselves if I have to look it up, what is the average, for the White Sox roster, their age? Because you would think they have to be in the bottom portion of, the youngest teams in baseball. You would think.
I definitely think they're up there, but there's a ton of young teams in baseball. I'm pretty sure the Royals are a young team. Same thing with the Reds. The Reds are a pretty young team.
Let's look at the average roster. So this was at the start of the season. So Miami, number 1, St. Louis, Washington, White Sox at 4.
You have St. Louis, Washington. Who was the other one?
Miami, St. Louis, Washington,
Okay.
White Sox are at 4.
Well, Miami makes sense because
the average age, 27.3. Miami is 26.6.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
They're all within a decimal point of each other. And
yeah.
Oh, let me look real quick here. I want to see on the list. Whereas the Cubs are number 26. So you can clearly see the gap in age difference there.
Yeah, but you can also see the gap of performance-wise, right? So, I mean, obviously the Cubs are one of the hottest teams in baseball. Obviously, they lost 3 in a row, but behind the Yankees and the Brewers, not the Brewers, sorry.
Well, the top 5 are all teams you'd expect to be decent or good. Like it's Atlanta, Texas, the Yankees, San Diego, Cubs, Dodgers. That's all.
Yeah, so exactly. So it makes sense exactly where the White Sox are at. They're a young team and they're still piecing things together. And right now you're still in a wild card spot.
Exactly. So, I'm not complaining about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like it's really good for Chicago when you have 2 winning baseball teams here in the city. Especially when you don't have like something like Bears football going on or winning hockey or winning basketball. So, we'll take it. I mean, I'm very excited for what's going on the South side right now.
Right. No, there's a lot of things to look forward to with this Cubs roster and Sox roster. I'm really excited to see the White Sox, though, because of just how young they are. And, I mean, seeing guys like Murakami, for what he's done so far coming into this team, has been amazing. And just the supporting cast around him has been great. We just want to see that continue as the summer goes on. And Crosstown's going to be a huge thing to prove it this weekend. So you guys obviously let us know who's going to be the dominant. Very excited. Let us know who's going to be the more dominant team, for Crosstown. But there's a lot to look forward to as we approach this upcoming weekend. Now, let's transition over to the NBA playoffs because we see a lot of great action going on in this, and we have a crucial Game 5 coming up tonight, for that matter. You got Pistons-Cavs at 7 p.m., and that's on ESPN. Right now, Detroit at home, 4.5-point favorites. So, I'll ask you, X, who's winning Game 5 tonight, and who do you got overall winning the series?
I wish our partner was here, first of all, to talk about this. But
yes. Oh, where you at? Oh.
Yeah, so honestly, I mean, maybe a little bit more than I do, but I do think the Cavs have the experience. They have obviously a slight an older roster. So I mean, with someone like Harden, right?
James Harden, Donovan Mitchell.
Like James Harden, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, they both performed last game, especially Mitchell. I think the Cavs have the more leeway in this matchup just for experience wise. Detroit obviously has a better winning record. So, but I think it's a playoff, so you should have to go with experience. So I'm going to go with the Cavs pulling out of this one.
Taking the Cavs going up 3-2 tonight. So, I mean, yeah, we just look at the matchups from Game 4. I mean, obviously, your leading scorer for the Pistons was Cade Cunningham with 19, 6, and 3. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball for Cleveland, Harden had 24 and 11, but Donovan Mitchell had 43, 5, and 2. So, exactly. I mean, you're going to get that from your number one option. Obviously, experience is key here. The one knock people say on James Harden is, he's never been the man in the big moments. We'll find out if that does happen, if they push it to Game 7. I do think that Cleveland does have a shot to take it on the road. I mean, you're just going to be looking at flawlessness, though, out of both teams. But you just can't have turnovers. Cleveland's had a lot of turnovers out of James Harden. And when you have more turnovers than points, that's not ideal. So, I mean, James Harden's due to have another great game. I think that it's going to be a great, great series to finish it out because, obviously, both of these teams are waiting for the Knicks, who already swept Philly. But I think regardless of whoever wins this matchup loses to the Knicks, in my opinion. I think that the Knicks have a very talented roster. I know Detroit's young, and they still had the number one seed. I know Cleveland's very experienced. but just of how since the Knicks and how they've played this year, I don't think I see any team out of those two beating the Knicks.
But do you think the Cavs go 6 or 7 games or both?
I think the Cavs can push it to 7. Even if I want to go with Detroit tonight. My gut tells me Detroit's going to win at home, and then Cleveland wins at home to force a Game 7 back in Detroit. But you saying that Cleveland's going to win and then taking it at home for Game 6, that's not a far-fetched possibility. It is doable.
I mean, we can also go Detroit winning tonight. Cavs even the series next game maybe pushes it to 7, and then the Cavs just with experience wins it in Game 7. I think this is going to go 7 games regardless. I think both teams match up pretty well with each other. I mean, who's really going to stop James Harden, to be honest with you, or Donovan Mitchell? I mean,
Donovan Mitchell's
42 points is ridiculous. So
yeah.
And he performs well in the playoffs. So either way, you're right. I do think whoever wins this matchup, which I do think it's going to be the Cavs, they probably lose to the Knicks in 5.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we'll obviously find out very soon here. I mean, the Knicks are going to be very well rested, especially after all the time they're going to have off from the sweep. But I think both teams go into it like with a dogfight, and it's going to be an intense Eastern Conference rivalry. You guys obviously let us know who's taking the game tonight. Again, Detroit's 4.5-point favorites at home for tonight's game. You can catch it on ESPN at 7 p.m. So the total money line, for right now is Cleveland plus 150. The total over-under is 211.5 for you bettors out there. So the big thing is we're going to see a great game, and obviously you got the Cavs. I'm going to ride with the Pistons. So hopefully one of us is right. One of us has to come out of this a winner. So we'll get to that. Now, the other big matchup we talk about too is we've got the Spurs and the Wolves, and that's going to be tomorrow night. But you look at Friday. San Antonio took a commanding 3-2 lead in the series after a dominant victory last night. And overall, with Wemby back, it makes you look at this team and say, I don't know who's coming out of the Western Conference. Oklahoma City's really good, but if you have Wemby in the lineup for San Antonio, I think I would love to see the Spurs in a 7-game series.
The Spurs, regardless, should be coming out of this matchup. They're obviously the better team. The only reason why, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but the only reason why they lost the game before this game was obviously what's his name getting taken out of the game or kicked out.
Yeah, Wemby, they got ejected.
He got ejected out of the game. So obviously that was a big thing. Even then, San Antonio scored 109 points and only lost by 6 points. So yeah, I do think they're the better team overall, especially when you have Wembyana. I mean, you have also De'Aaron Fox, who's a pretty great player right there as well. So
all-star talent. He's an all-star talent player.
Exactly. Obviously, Minnesota I think they're going to give him a run for the money. I mean, they do have a great lineup with Julius Randle. Ayo is performing well right now for them.
Right.
You know, as a Chicago fan. And Edwards is he's Edwards. So obviously if Minnesota wants to win this series in general, I mean, Edwards, they're going to have a phenomenal game out of Edwards, Gobert, and Randle.
Right. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know. Like, this is the laggiest I've ever seen our video when we've played on clip highlights. But look at this man, a 7-footer plus who's moving like that, and he can shoot the 3-ball. Like, where else are you going to find a guy who can do that on the court? And I love Rudy Gobert. He's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a great, phenomenal athlete, and I think he's what holds the Wolves down in the middle. But again, when he's going up against a 7-foot alien like Wembanyama who could flat out do it all, I mean, unfortunately, you're setting the table for just a massacre, and that's what it was last night. 126-97 was the victory. Wemby had 27. Ant had 20 in the loss. But, I mean, overall, too, you talk about production. Other than Champagnie, every starter for San Antonio scored in double figures. Vassell with 12, Castle with 17, Fox with 18, and then their bench production, Keldon Johnson with 22, he had 21 in 22 minutes. But that's just, you're going to need that. And Minnesota's bench knows that. And they know that going back to Minneapolis to force a Game 7, you're going to need to be on your A game at all times.
I just don't understand what's going on with Julius Randle with 12 points and 17 points. I mean, same thing with Rudy Gobert with 4 and 10 or 4 and 11. I was young, so I'm not really gonna expect much from him.
But 16 out of Iowa was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't understand where the push is. Like, there's not much really there. I mean, they have players that can perform, but it seems like they're just not. I don't know if they're not clicking or San Antonio's defense is suffocating them, but I don't understand why they're not performing how they should.
Naz Reid, the only one off
the bench, Julius Randle,
man of the year to get 12 points. Yeah, I mean Julius Randle. I mean 17 and 17 for McDaniels and Randle. So I mean you're gonna get production. Unfortunately, you just need to knock down some threes. Which again, 0 for 4 for Julius Randle. You're not gonna be cutting that. But this is gonna be an interesting matchup. I think that the Spurs have a shot to take it on the road. Wemby's just been a beast, and that game is going to be at 8:30 p.m. on Friday. And that will also be the Game 6 after Pistons-Cavs Game 6, which will also be on Friday. You catch that on Prime Video at 8:30. And for that matchup, San Antonio is 4.5-point favorites. So you guys let us know who you like seeing come out of that, because what team would you like to see play the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals? And then what team would you rather see play the Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals? So there's a lot to look forward to as we get to that part of this big road trip, you would say, or big part of the playoffs as we enter the conference finals very soon. But I'm going to wrap it up with that. And before I go to the next topic, which will be our draft segment, I will mention one thing that my good pal X brought up to us, and that is the team, not exactly a new team in Chicago, but what did you think? I know you're the one who sent me this. You got two very interesting pictures here, and I am going to pull up a quote. Chicago Fire coming to the city. Do you think that is it is expansion, number one. Do you think that this does anything for the team? Does this do anything for the city of Chicago? What does this bring, do you think?
Well, I think in hindsight, this actually goes really well with teams that are planning to build in the city or even in the States, such as the Bears and the White Sox for their new stadium. I think that's the overall, you got to really think about it. So the Fire have been playing in Bridgeport, or is it Bridgeport?
Bridgeview.
Bridgeview, excuse me.
Bridgeview. It's at SeatGeek Stadium.
Yeah, they play at SeatGeek Stadium for the majority of the season, but they also play half the games when Soldier Field is not occupied. So they do play, technically speaking, in Chicago. Chicago Fire is not really looked up in all of Chicago sports, obviously because of soccer, so it's not really that big. But I mean, they do have a fan base, and they're looking to expand off the Chicago River. So I think the stadium looks nice. I think it looks real nice, and obviously McDonald's is, technically speaking, it started in Illinois, so I think it's kind of cool what's going on. And then obviously it looks like a really nice stadium. Like, it looks like it's gonna be really nice off that riverfront, and I think it's gonna be a really nice place to catch a game, or even if they do concert venues as well.
Yeah, I'll pull up that picture in a second. Obviously, right in front of us here, I pulled up a quote from the chairman and owner of the Fire, and he obviously mentions here that McDonald's is the perfect partner and an iconic global brand within deep Chicago roots, which obviously you mentioned. The owner being from Chicago, Ray Kroc, who God rest his soul. But within the deep Chicago roots and shared values and supporting the community, it will be the stadium that Chicago deserves. So I'll pull up a couple pictures here. Obviously, you got this one, which is the interior, which, again, I know the United States. I mean, obviously, we have the World Cup coming up this summer, which is going to be very fun to watch for everyone around the world. But for a country that hasn't been deemed a soccer-playing country, this is an incredible feat for a soccer stadium on the inside. You would think this looks like something you see in England almost.
It looks really clean. I mean, it's very unique. Most stadiums, it kind of just wraps around with the stands. But I mean, on the right side, right there, you see a bunch of boxes. So yeah, I mean, it looks gorgeous from the inside and outside. So it's
right.
Even I'm excited. Like when it's done being built in 2028, I do plan on seeing a game over there. I think it's gonna be great.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited to see it too. And then I'm gonna pull up this other picture. If I could get it to load. Come on now. I saved it to my draft, so I wanted to. But the big thing I think with this too is like when I saw it at first, I didn't think it was real. I'm like, okay, this is just like I thought it was a prototype, like we're talking about with like the Sox field. There's nothing for sure, but then they did announce for sure that they were going to bring it in. And I'm like, okay, like this would be interesting to say the least because I could see them doing something like this, but I want to see how much ultimately like the total cost comes out to because I know the Sox were talking about investing up to $1 billion for their stadium. So they definitely have the ability to go out and do something, but like this for a soccer team to get that, I would have never guessed that. I'm gonna see if I can send this picture.
I don't know how much did they get.
Let me see.
Well, it's not public investing. I believe it's private, correct?
So McDonald's Park is going to be approximately $750 million.
Okay, I mean, it makes sense. It's going to be a smaller stadium. Obviously, it's not going to be as big as
22,000 people can fit in the stadium.
Exactly. I mean, how many fits in Soldier Field? 60, like two?
It's like it's the smallest. But I want to say it's still around 60,000. But it's 61,500 is the smallest stadium in the NFL by capacity.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a fraction of what the NFL is. But I mean, it like you said before, it is the MLB. I mean, excuse me, the MLS is a. I want to say they're getting a little more notice nowadays, especially when you have someone like Messi and just players in general coming in. But I think it's kind of like. Almost like the WNBA where it's kind of like starting to branch out a little more and get a little bit busier. So, I mean, it's fantastic for the city. It's fantastic for the sports. Fantastic for the club itself. I really do enjoy it. I do like it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be just like it. I think it'll help with like taking a step in just, there's going to be a lot for just like you said, expansion and overall just the team to come together and not just come together, but how do I say, it brings more to the city, which you want, and that's why I'm excited to see what they can come up with besides this this park. Because what is that? Does that leave the door open for the Sox to do something? But you guys obviously let us know what happens with this because I mean it is pretty significant for a team like the Sox to go out maybe try to invest something in the community because clearly the Chicago Fire have that recognition to do something like that as well. So you guys let us know what you think about that, and we're going to transition to our last segment of the show, and that is our draft segment because we usually want to surprise people with the draft segment. Unfortunately, we don't have Big O with us for this show, but we are going to construct for our draft segment a fantasy football team. So obviously we're going to do current player. Well, you want to do all time or current, we said?
Well, I was gonna ask you that. I was actually thinking that. I was like, wait, does he mean all time? Because last time we did all time for the NBA.
Let's do all time. And so,
do you by any chance have like a list or something, or what?
So here's what we're gonna do in a normal fantasy lineup, and this is how it usually goes. You have a quarterback, your running back. Usually, you get 2 running backs. Then you have 2 or 3 receivers, a tight end, a defense. You could pick a team's defense if there's a particular team's defense or whatever. And then a kicker. So it could be all time. This is all time.
It's 3 wide receivers?
I believe it's 2 receivers, and then there's a flex spot. And in that flex spot, you could throw a tight end or a receiver or a running back, whoever you want. So I'll probably throw a receiver. Because I went first last week, I'm going to give it to you to lead us off to start it this week. So you can give us our first overall pick.
Oh, that's pretty insane to pick me for that. I want to say we should start off with a quarterback, but I feel like that isn't the smart move. So is it technically speaking like fantasy, like points wise, or just like the best?
Point wise and the best player, because you know that point wise, some of those players will give you the best production no matter who's at quarterback. So I'm not talking about current rosters right now. So you can just give me.
This is a biased pick, but since I am the first. I'm going to be the one picking. I'm going to pick Walter Payton, running back from the Chicago Bears.
That's I'm going to write that down actually now. So I have that written down so I don't forget. Let me put this down here on a piece of paper. Sweetness. So we got Sweetness with the number 1 overall pick. And I respect that because the big thing with the Bears is you have a lot of talent that's come out of the organization. I know obviously people don't have much to speak of in the last 30 years until very recently, but Walter Payton is arguably one of, if not the greatest running back of all time. I know you could put Barry Sanders in that conversation. You could put Jim Brown. You could put so many good running backs, but he did a lot, not only for like the city of Chicago, like the community. He was one of the best runners we've ever seen. There's a reason he was called Sweetness. I love the pick. I mean, I'm going to resort to this pick only because I think he's one of, if not, I think the greatest wide receiver in my opinion. But I think with my first overall pick, I think I'm going to go with Jerry Rice.
Of course you were.
Jerry Rice was, I mean, you talk about a guy who flat out could do it all. And I know that people are going to say, oh, he's not the greatest of all time. But, I mean, if we just go by overall what the man did for the game of football, I mean, he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion, a Super Bowl MVP, a 2-time Offensive Player of the Year, and a 10-time first-team All-Pro. Like, you can't get better than that when you look at the receivers of our decade and all that. And there's very good receivers. But he was the receptions leader for 2 years, a 6-time NFL receiving yard leader. Like, I have to go with Jerry Rice. That's an easy pick for me for my wide receiver number 1.
No, I do think I mean, it's actually kind of funny because I was going to pick him as my number 1 because who doesn't know who Jerry Rice is, right?
Right.
I mean, if you watch football at least. But since you picked Jerry Rice, I don't want to be the guy who picks the exact because I feel like our line's going to be regardless probably this very similar. So I'm just going to go with Randy Moss with my pick.
Randy Moss. That's a very good pick too. I mean, again, and Randy Moss had a longer career as well. So the big thing with him was, I mean, you got a guy with him, and I mean, he was the offensive rookie of the year. The NFL's comeback player of the year. He was a 4-time first-team All-Pro. I mean, he didn't win any Super Bowls, but he had one of the greatest careers in the history of the NFL. So watching him play it was incredible. I mean, he was just after me, so I got to see like the back end of his career, or he was just before me, excuse me. I said that wrong. He could catch anything thrown at him. He can make a one-handed catch. He can make a great contested catch. I mean, he did everything right, and I love You Got Moss on ESPN. He's literally one of the best and fun receivers to watch in all time when you look back at history. And so I like that pick. So your first 2 picks are Walter Payton, Randy Moss. I got to think big here because I want to take another receiver. I'm between the modern day receivers though, because I want consistency. I might get a little controversial for this pick because this pick is not currently at that rate, but I'm going to say my second receiver is Antonio Brown. And I know a lot of stuff has been mentioned over the years because of the stuff that he's been accused of, and obviously his falling out with the NFL wasn't exactly the greatest. But you're talking about a guy who was literally one of the greatest receivers that we ever saw play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I mean, quite frankly, I still thought he had it in him when he went to Tampa Bay for a little while. But I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion with Tampa Bay. He's a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time NFL receiving leader, and he was the 2010s All-Decade team. He was flat out catching every ball. So it's hard to say that obviously he should have had a longer career, and unfortunately he had some demons. But I have to pick him because of how dominant he was. And I thought it was between him and Julio Jones. And I would have picked Julio, honestly, too. But Antonio Brown just was so fast and so quick. And for his size, he could do everything. I believe he was only 5'10", 5'11". He wasn't the biggest guy in the world.
My bad. I'm trying to figure out. There's a player I want to pick.
There's a player you want to pick,
and I can't think of his name right now. But if I give you his nickname, you're probably gonna know who it is. But I don't want to give you the nickname right now.
Tell me the nickname. You got to give me the
What the heck is his name? He's coaching right now in the NFL in college.
He's coaching in college. What team? Can you tell me the team?
Colorado.
Deion.
Is it Colorado?
Deion.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders. Wow. But what would he be for you, though? Because you have to understand, Deion, you're going to have him as a kick returner. You could play him at corner. You could play him at receiver. So if you're going to do that, you might have to just pick a defense.
You could put him as a flex if he's a kick returner. But
wow. I didn't think of that. So you're putting Deion in your flex.
I do like Deion, but I haven't picked him yet. I do like Deion a lot. I mean, who doesn't like Deion?
Oh, you didn't lock in your pick. I wanted.
No, I didn't. But that's what I really, really was thinking about picking. See, I want to pick this, but then it's gonna be like, I think I was gonna go. I'm just gonna do it. I mean, he didn't win anything technically speaking. But I'm gonna go with Barry Sanders. I think Barry Sanders and Walter Payton as a running back duel. It's fantastic.
So tough. That's two great running backs because I really thought you were going to say someone else. And the running back I'm probably going to mention for mine, he's in that conversation as well. But, I mean, that's a solid list to start off. I mean, you have the big aforementioned Walter Payton sweetness. You have Randy Moss. And then you just throw in Barry Sanders. Like, that's a very solid pick. And I mean, Barry Sanders was a great running back for Detroit. I'm going to take the complete polar opposite. I'm going to take the Dallas Cowboys running back, Emmitt Smith.
Okay.
Because Emmitt Smith, I mean, we all know what he was capable of. Him, Michael Irvin on the team, Troy Aikman. Like, they had a very talented roster. The team won a couple of championships. Yeah. So, I mean, I have to go with that. What the heck was that? Oh, it was my extension cord. Oopsie. But again, the big thing with that too is I want to see a consistent runner on my team, and Emmitt Smith could give you that night in and night out for each week. And so so far I have Antonio Brown, Jerry Rice, and Emmitt Smith.
I'm gonna go with a future Hall of Famer in Gronkowski.
Wow,
that's a questionable tight end pick. Wow. I was thinking about Mike Ditka, but I'm not trying to go all old heads. You know, I either way, I mean, Mike Ditka probably would have been the best tight end because, you know, the way they played back in the day. But Gronkowski has the most rings for a tight end as of right now. So I'm going to go Gronkowski.
See, oh, God. It's so tough because you took my pick. You really did. I don't want to have to take Gronk again because that's not what I do. He's already off the board. But he is arguably, I think, the greatest tight end ever. But I know people are going to go up there and say, I mean, I don't want to say him yet because I'm going to pick him. But, I mean, you could say Kelsey. You could say Kittle. You could say so many great legends. Lynn Swann if you want. But
I was going to say Kittle. But Kittle only has, what, one ring?
Kittle doesn't have any rings.
No?
Kittle doesn't have any rings.
Really? Oh, my God.
Kelsey so at least has three.
Kittle played in what? 2 Super Bowls?
Played in 2 Super Bowls. He lost them both.
I still think he's a phenomenal.
I do, too. I'm not denying his talent. I love Kittle. I think that Kittle is one of my favorite players in the NFL. But, I mean, Kelsey has 3 rings. And I love his style of play, but at the same time, I have to go with Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez is a great player. And he just, overall, if we're not picking Gronk, I'm taking Tony G because, again, very long career. And, I mean, he was a 6-time first-team All-Pro, 4-time second-team All-Pro, 14-time Pro Bowler. He actually did not win any Super Bowls, though. So, again, there's a lot I love about this, but it's tough because I think Tony Gonzalez right after Gronk. It's between him, Kelsey, and it's so hard to make that decision. So I have to take Tony Gonzalez as my pick for my tight end.
I really thought you were going to pick Kelsey. So my next pick is going to be extremely questionable. Extremely. His career's not over yet. I do think that
now I'm nervous. This build-up's got me nervous for just like someone just complete.
Well, first off, as a Chicago Bears fan, I would say that I do really want to pick somebody, but he's very, very young, so I'm not going to pick him.
Do it.
I'm not going to do it.
Is it who I think it is?
Yeah, probably. Obviously the greatest of all time for quarterbacks is Tom Brady, but I'm not picking Tom Brady. I'm picking Patrick Mahomes.
Wow. I mean, see, this is where I'm going to agree to disagree. I know Patrick Mahomes is a once-in-a-lifetime talent. He's won 3 Super Bowls in his very illustrious and star-studded career. But who are you taking in the 2-minute drill?
Between whom, Mahomes and Brady?
Mahomes and Brady. To go win you a football game, to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl, who are you taking?
See, that's complicated because if you go in basketball, I mean, it's straight up and down. I mean, if you go football, it really just depends on who you have surrounding the guy. If you're talking about the players we have now, then I'm still gonna run with Mahomes. Honestly, if I have Mahomes,
but that's the thing. I watched Brady wheel a team that was down 28-3 and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it's football, so football is different aspects of games, right? So I mean, you got coaching. So I do think,
like, don't get me wrong, Mahomes, I believe it was both Super Bowls against San Francisco for him. He was down to the Niners both games. He found a way to win those games, especially the first one, his first Super Bowl in 18 or 19, I believe. They were down I think they were down double digits in that game, and they come back to win. That's what makes winners. That's what makes quarterbacks who they are. And I know Patrick Mahomes has one of the greatest arms ever. Brady was a 7th-round pick. He was literally one of the last picks, if not, I think, the last pick in the draft. And he goes on to win 7 Super Bowls, has the most decorated career of any quarterback ever. Now, you can make the argument that Aaron Rodgers has the best arm ever, even though he's got 1 Super Bowl to his name, which is very true. Aaron Rodgers can make throws like no one else I've ever seen. But in the 2-minute drill, if you're asking me who I want to go win a crucial football game, I have to take Tom Brady. I just have to.
I think it's fair to say that. I do think I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm going to throw it out there. There's a ton of controversy around almost every single Super Bowl that Tom Brady has won.
Right. I mean, I can understand like the Deflategate thing. I mean, that obviously shook the NFL, and a lot of people like were surprised to find out that this guy was a part of a cheating scandal like that. But to be fair, I mean, he does have the greatest Super Bowl comeback in NFL history in 28-3. He's won with Tampa Bay, which again, no one said he's going to win with Tampa Bay. He was able to win it with them, and he built a dynasty with Bill Belichick. Like
the players he had for Tampa Bay were good players and
right.
Great players. You bring Gronk out of retirement just to go to Tampa Bay?
I mean, he had Gronk, he had Chris Godwin, he had Mike Evans, he got Leonard Fournette, who resurrected his career. Like
exactly.
They had very good, and then Tampa Bay's defense was one of the best defenses we've seen the last couple of years. So
Mahomes has been in the Super Bowl how many years in a row? Obviously, he wasn't there last year, but
so prior to that, I mean, they lost to the Eagles. He was in 4 Super Bowls in 5 years,
and he's only 30 years old. His career is not over yet. I understand the whole 2-minute drill thing, but if it's 2-minute drill with Patrick Mahomes and I got
right, but I'm saying think about the talent that's going to be coming in this year. You're going to have teams that are hungry too, like Denver, Buffalo, Chargers, Jacksonville. Like the AFC is going to be a dogfight again. Baltimore.
Yeah, but they're also the Chiefs. So I was Patrick Mahomes. I don't like them. I'm not a big fan of him, but we're not a big fan of them because they win, right? They're winning.
Right.
So.
And to think I'm not knocking it because I love Caleb Williams and everything that I've seen.
I was going to pick Caleb Williams. I really was.
Right, no. And I'm saying I love him, and what he's done has been the best I've ever seen out of quarterback playing in Chicago. But, like, to think that the Bears could have had a guy like Mahomes. Think about it. Not saying he would have done the same stuff that he's doing in Kansas City, because think about the coaching staff that he had, Andy Reid, and some of the best coaching and the best players surrounding him. I don't think the Bears would have had that for Mahomes.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, it was a mess when they brought him in, when they brought the Mahomes in. So, well, for the Bears at least. I mean, who was it at the time? Was it John Fox?
I think it was, yeah. It was John Fox.
Then Nagy.
Because in that draft, it was Trubisky, Mahomes, Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, it was John Fox because it was Trubisky's first year under John Fox. So it was John Fox For Patrick Mahomes, no, it wouldn't have turned out the way it turned out for him in Kansas City. Yeah,
Right.
Then you got Matt Nagy, then you got Eberflus, and right now it's looking pretty well. So I'm not gonna jinx it right now. But I mean, as much as we know what he's done and what he's doing, I mean, maybe this is just bias and because we're going off of what happened last year. But I have never been so excited as a Bears fan with Caleb Williams as my quarterback. So I'm fine with him being a Bear.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So you're going overall though with Mahomes as your quarterback.
Yeah, you can't take me off that hill. I'm gonna go with Mahomes.
All right. I mean,
I could have easy picked Tom Brady, and I could have been like, "Oh, I have Tom Brady."
Well, again, that's why I'm starting to like think about this pick too, because my heart wanted to go with Tom Brady because I said if you're gonna win me a big game, how could I not go with the greatest of all time in Tom Brady? But I mean, you can make the argument for a Mahomes, for a Joe Montana, for an Aaron Rodgers, for a Josh Allen, even for some of these quarterbacks who are just like blowing our mind. It's one of the things that are just. It's fun to go out and watch a team perform with a star quarterback at the helm. I think I am just going to take my gut feeling, though, and go with Tom Brady. Because, I mean, I just have to take the 2-minute drill. I really have to.
To each his own. So, are we doing so we got one quarterback, 2 wide receivers?
It's one quarterback, 2 wide receivers. You can pick the flex option, which can be a receiver, running back, tight end. Then we're going to do a whole team's defense, a kicker, and then, it's 2 running backs. I think I mentioned that before, though.
The kicker's hilarious.
There's the greatest kicker of all time. Think about it.
Yeah, I know. So I got Moss. Damn, bro. Who do I want as my running back or wide receiver? I'm just going to go defense right now.
Defense, and over what team's defense are you going to pick?
Picking 1985 Chicago Bears defense, the greatest defense of all time.
That's a very solid pick. I mean, again, you think about the monsters of the Midway, and you think about just like a talented overall team. I mean, that is the team's defense. Like, I mean, that was the last time the Bears won a Super Bowl, but I mean, they had everything going from Mike Singletary, legendary coach Ditka. There's so many variables that went into making that team what it is. William the Refrigerator Perry. I mean, I love the pick. It's so hard to say because we've seen some such dominant defenses over the years. I mean, you got the Purple People Eaters. You've got this Eagles team a couple years ago that put up just vicious numbers on Mahomes in the Super Bowl. I've never seen a defense like that. And again, it goes back to like who do you want as your top defense? And I mean, Philly has been notoriously known for having a good defense. I'm just gonna pick the Eagles defense collectively because we've seen over the years they had guys like Reggie White and they've had great roster talent.
Eagles defense collectively with current defense.
It can be current and it can be all time because think about who they've had on some of their all time teams.
Can't do that.
Brian Dawkins.
That means I got to pick an all time Bears defense.
Well, you already picked the Bears defense, though.
You can't pick an all-time defense. You got to pick a year.
Well, because I'm going to say the Eagles defense. You got a Brian Dawkins-led defense. You have a Reggie White-led defense. Even now with the Jalen Carters, the Jordan Davises of the world, the big men up front, they can make plays.
I'm going to go current Eagles for you.
Current Eagles team.
Yeah.
You look at
you can't pick an all-time. No way. That makes no sense. What?
Well, you went with the 85 team though, so how was that?
Yeah, but I thought we're picking like specific teams. Like,
all right, then I'm taking the Eagles too. I have to. The Eagles are my team. I said I'd take the Eagles.
I thought you were gonna pick the Dolphins defense from
the Dolphins defense though.
From 80, was it 84 or 86?
84.
Where they were one of the better. When had the Dolphins? No, it was the 70s, right?
I believe so, yeah.
The 70s Dolphins when they were just dominating teams nonstop, and they won 2 Super Bowls.
Right, no, that makes sense. The biggest thing for me too is I want to have consistency on a roster, and defense wins championships. So, I mean, I'll take the Eagles defense. You're going Eagles defense. I'm going to do my kicker pick now, and I know that I have to go with – it's tough because, I mean, I love Adam Vinatieri. I'm going with Justin Tucker. Up until his last season in Baltimore, he was the most consistent kicker I've ever seen. He also had, I believe at the time, the record for the longest kick, and I think that was broken. So I have to go with him. I'm taking Justin Tucker as my kicker.
All right. Since obviously you said that, I'm just going to pick Vinatieri. Just because he's technically speaking the greatest.
I mean, Vinatieri is very good, though. So, I mean, I can't go against him.
I thought you were going to pick him. I was like, that was just easy.
So let me go back and read real quick because I wrote them down, I think. I just want to make sure. For your roster so far as presently constructed, your defense is the Eagles. Your kickers,
my defense is 85 Bears.
85 Bears, sorry. 85 Bears, Tucker is your kicker.
No, yours, Tucker.
Who is yours?
Vinatieri.
Oh, you did have Vinatieri. So you have 85 Bears, Vinatieri is the kicker.
Yeah.
Your receivers, you have Randy Moss. And who's your other one? I'm sorry, I forgot to pick the other one.
I didn't pick another one. You
haven't picked another one. So you had Randy Moss, Patrick Mahomes, and Barry Sanders and Walter Payton.
And Gronkowski.
Meanwhile, on my side of the ball, I had Tony Gonzalez, Tom Brady, Eagles defense all time, Antonio Brown, Jerry Rice, and I think that was it for now. And then Tucker's my kicker. So the only ones I'm missing I'm missing another running back. So I had Emmitt Smith. I think I'm going to take for my other running back. This is tough, man. I want to go with him now because he's dominant. He's had one of the most dominant seasons in rushing history. I have to go with Saquon Barkley.
I was just thinking that.
I'm going to take Saquon. 2,000-yard season. He's proven everyone wrong since he went to Philadelphia. He won a Super Bowl. He's one of the greatest running backs I've ever seen. I'm taking Saquon as my other running back. I thought about Derrick Henry, though. I really did. But I have to take Saquon over him.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're comparing, like, yes, Henry's been performing outstanding for the past how many years now? 10.
I mean, since he was in Tennessee, since he's came to Baltimore, I mean, the guy can flat out do it all. Longevity is key too. I mean, obviously, we don't know who's going to have a drop off this season, but I'm riding with Saquon Barkley.
Man. I want to pick. I'm just going to pick it. I'm going to pick Mike. Did you pick him?
Who?
No. I'll pick Michael Irvin. I'll pick Michael Irvin as my second wide receiver.
Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
I like that. Michael Irvin. I mean, we could have thought of anyone in the world and we're thinking that's it. I mean, I love Michael Irvin. He's a great player. I mean, you look at him as he was the number one receiver in the 90s Cowboys. He did a lot of things for that team. I mean, you had the Emmitt Smiths of the world, you had the Michael Irvins, you had the Troy Aikmans. He left a lot for Dallas, and he meant a lot to Dallas. And obviously, he's so passionate about Cowboys football, and I like that pick. So you got Moss and Irvin as your two receivers.
Correct.
Nice. I'm gonna rock with that pick. So I am missing, I believe, my flex spot.
Same.
Yeah. And it's tough because I want to go with an all-timer, but I also want to go with a current player. And I just love watching his style of play when he's on the field. And unfortunately, this last year or two, he hasn't had the greatest quarterback play.
Oh, you're gonna pick my pick.
What'd you say?
You're gonna pick my pick, I think. Go ahead.
Jettas?
Who?
Jettas? Justin Jefferson?
Yeah, that was how I was gonna.
That was your pick?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh no, I feel bad taking that, but I love Justin Jefferson. He's so good. Like, every time I watch him when he plays the Bears, he just gives the Bears defense nightmares. And it's just, when I watch him play, I mean, it's tough because it was between him and Chase. I love Chase. I think Chase is a triple crown. Chase is good, but I don't.
You did right.
I think that Jettas is better than Chase, but I also think that you could put a lot of other guys in that conversation for the number one spot too. Like, I mean, you're talking about consistent year after year. You could put Mike Evans, you could put CeeDee Lamb, you could put AJ Brown, even though he had a down year. I mean, JSN just had the great season, and we love seeing what the Seahawks have been doing. But I'm going to take Justin Jefferson as my other receiver in the flex spot.
All right, so my final pick, since you picked Jefferson, I was gonna go a running back with Christian McCaffrey, but instead I will be going with I just had him. Where is he at? Travis Kelce.
You're going with Kelce.
Yeah,
you're doing a two tight end set.
I am 2 tight end set because Kelce does it all. He's a route runner. He's a big man. He can block. He can catch.
He's Taylor Swift's.
We don't care about that. All right, that is not the reason why I picked him.
No, that's a great pick, though. I mean, we all know Kelce's longevity is going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends of all time. So, overall, I'm going to write it down for mine real quick just to put it down. I have Brady with Emmitt Smith. And who's my other? I'm sorry. I didn't even write that one down. Dang it. Oh, Saquon and Emmitt Smith, followed by Jerry Rice, Justin Jefferson, and who was my Antonio Brown. Eagles defense with the Justin Tucker as my kicker. So that is my roster. And then your roster, you had Mahomes, your running back. You had Barry Sanders. Who was your other running back? Walter Payton.
I had Walter Payton.
Walter Payton, Barry Sanders. And then for your wide receivers, you had, let's see, I'm going to go through them one by one here. Well, you had tight ends. So 2 tight ends set of Kelce and Gronkowski and Randy Moss. Eagles defense all time with Vinatieri as your kicker.
Yep.
I believe that's correct.
And
that's a one-on-one. I would love to see that team play one-on-one in Madden. I think that's a dogfight.
I think my team would win. I do like how you have Rice, but I didn't want to pick the same players you did. So I was
right. I mean, you also have a 2 tight end set going though, so that makes up for the fact that you have 1 receiver.
Oh yeah.
Whereas my defense can go after the 1 receiver and then get involved in 2 tight end schemes with our linebackers, our defensive ends. This is a great draft segment. Unfortunately, it sucks that Big O is not with us. Hopefully, we get to have him back next week. But overall, you guys let us know what you think of how we constructed these draft rosters, because I think they're very close neck and neck. But I leave that for you guys to decide. Go to Prime Coverage Sports Network and let us know who had the better one. But that's going to wrap it up here for our draft segment, everybody. And that's going to do it for this show. As always, X, another phenomenal week in the books, and it's great to do it. Hopefully we're back here in the same spot next week, and we're talking more of the same and just having a good time all together.
It was a great time, brother. Go White Sox.
As always, go Sox. Crosstown this weekend. You guys keep us posted on who you want to win and who's going to be the better team coming out of the weekend. But as always, this has been the Between the Lines Sports Show on the Prime Coverage Sports Network, and we will see you guys all right here next week.
Peace.